What's up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of the A-Lister Reviews podcast. I'm one of your hosts, David Thompson. Joining me today, as always, Kevin.
As always, sure. This is the first one. How can we, as always?
Okay, 10 episodes from now, you'll know it's as always. How about that?
Okay, so 10 episodes from now.
You can come back to this one and be like, yeah, they were right. It is as always. Kevin's always there.
Okay,
yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin Budusing.
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh, thank you. I thought I would making my own introduction, but that's okay, bro. You can do anything you want.
Oh, I'm sorry. How you doing? You can say how you doing.
Oh, I'm good, man. I had a good day, just relaxing. Saw an awesome movie with a good bud. So
it was an awesome movie, really. All right, we'll get to that in a second. But for those of you that don't know, which is all of you, because this is the first episode, as Kevin just reminded me.
Yes.
This is the AMC, well, not AMC. This is the A-Listers podcast. Basically. So AMC has this subscription service called AMC Stubs A-List.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. We're honestly, AMC, please pay us for this because we're literally just using your name. I mean,
Definitely.
hopefully don't sue us. But anyway, they have this subscription service where basically you pay per month and you get 3 movies a week. So you pay $20 and then you get 3 movies a week for quote unquote free.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to use, at least we think anyway. And we are both A-listers. So we are your resident A-listers.
Exactly. So hence A-list movie reviews.
Yes.
Now,
basically we just used our subscription to go see a movie. And now we're going to talk about it with you guys.
Exactly. We have a good privilege. Yes, I did. A good privilege of being A-list members. So why not take advantage of it? You know. Yeah.
Also, quickly, we want to thank everyone at Florida Tech and the DSL, and specifically Martin Gallagher for letting us use this space right now. We are not in a room with a mic like we were planning. We are in a nice studio, which is nice. Hopefully, the sound quality is coming through.
Yep, Mr. Gallagher, thank you very, very much, and thank you for your kindness and your hospitality.
Also, I'm not sure, guys, but I kind of just heard a little like door opening, closing, and that might have been the custodial. I'm not going to cut it though. We're just leaving it in. We're just rolling with it because I like the intro so much. I'm not restarting. I refuse.
The view we have outside of this great little workspace right now is beautiful.
We're just looking at all these stress students studying for finals.
Exactly. So we're just staring at these kids just stressing out about finals, you know.
Enjoying life.
You know. I'm looking at this one kid right now. He's struggling with a Word document. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. The amount of red on it is... It's upsetting. So I wish everyone a good rest of the week in terms of finals.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Okay. Anyway. So the movie we saw today, Ugly Dolls.
Okay.
Let me shoot some facts at you.
Facts. Let's say those
little
wonderful facts
about Ugly Dolls. Ugly Dolls
was the star-studded cast.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get into that. Released May 3rd. Technically, this is a release date. May 3rd, 2019. Directed by Kelly Asbury.
Asbury.
Yeah. Asbury?
You just pronounce her name a little better.
So Ugly Dolls, I guess, is based off these. I guess they were literally just dolls. Like I know Jasmine had one when she was a kid.
Yeah, they're. I mean, not just dolls, more like stuffed toys, but dolls.
What?
No, because
stuffed animal.
Stuffed animals. Because if you say doll to someone
like a Barbie.
Like a Barbie, but these are like stuffed dolls. It's like, have you ever seen the movie Coraline?
Oh, that's hilarious. You said that because me and Jasmine watched that literally just last night for the first time. Such a creepy
Jasmine movie. Is.
What? My girlfriend?
Okay, there we go. Because we don't. I don't want to be.
Are you having a stroke? Like,
No. I mean. First episode.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah, sorry. 10 episodes from now, you can come back and you can check all of our facts.
Yes. I mean, you'll know who Jasmine is.
Yeah. Anyway, starring Kelly Clarkson as Moxie.
Oh, yes.
Nick Jonas as Lou.
Yes.
Janelle, I think it's Janelle Monáe as Mandy.
Janelle Monáe.
Do you know who that is?
A couple of years ago, she did a song with Fun. Do you remember that song?
No, but okay.
I can't remember it right now, but I know she did do that.
So she's an artist.
She is a artist, yes.
Blake Shelton as Ox.
Oh, yes. Blake Shelton.
Pitbull as Ugly Dog. Oof, I'm going to get into that in a little bit.
Ice-T as Peggy.
What?
Yeah, we have Wanda Sykes as Wage.
Gabriel Iglesias as Babo. Yeah, so...
Fluffy.
What?
Oh, no. Gabriel Iglesias, his Fluffy series.
No.
He's a comedian.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Wait, who is he?
He's
Babo? He's the big guy?
Yeah, he's
Babo's the big one?
yeah,
The big ugly doll?
yes.
Yeah,
Who,
I liked him.
like,
Yeah. Okay, that's funny. Okay.
Emma Roberts was Wedgehead.
Oh, really? Wow. Such a small role. Okay.
No, but the most surprising was Nick Jonas.
Yeah,
I mean, go ahead. Like,
well, I was gonna say, you said in the theater, you're like, he doesn't really sound like
no,
him, and I'm like,
I thought it was Joe.
oh, really?
Jonas, yeah.
Yeah, so it sounded kind of like him, but like not really. I don't know what it was. Like, it almost seemed like his singing didn't sound just like him either.
Yeah, his voice. I mean, his voice, his singing did not sound like typical Nick Jonas.
Yeah, so anyway, enough of the facts. Let's get into so first, how we're going to do this, guys, is the first like 5-10 minutes, I'd say, we're going to do a non-spoiler review. So if you haven't seen it and you may want to see it, this will be our spoiler-free review.
And we will warn you before we get into spoilers.
Yeah, of course. And then, so yeah, after that, then we'll get into a more spoiler review where basically we can talk about the movie completely openly, like as if you've seen it, get into a few like categories and break some things down, which I think will be fun. And yeah, if you don't care about spoilers, then you can stick around. But for now, here's our spoiler-free review. So, do you want to start or should I?
Oh, you can start.
So I would say about Ugly Dolls is one of my biggest takeaways was it's a kids movie, right? And I feel like nowadays these animated studios like Pixar and even just like Disney animation, even like DreamWorks to a certain degree, like with How to Train Your Dragon, I love those movies. They make these animated movies that are kid friendly. So the for kids, like kids are like, you know, they're marketed towards them.
Yep.
But you go there and you're like, oh, this is like a really good film. Like, wow, like this isn't as an adult. Like you can be there and be like, oh wow, this story is really well like crafted and it's a really good story, and like there's like even like some adult themes like death.
So
and things like that.
I would fully agree with that. You know, Ugly Dolls, definitely a kids movie, but as we've seen with DreamWorks and Pixar, there's a lot of underlining adult themes. They tackle adult situations and like just different themes and plot lines that you can relate more as an adult. My point in not saying all that is I don't think Ugly Dolls really did that at all. Like in my opinion, I thought it was very, very kiddish. It was like, definitely a kid movie.
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt.
It was like most certainly made for kids. Like this is not a movie where you're like, didn't you say you fell asleep a few times?
I did doze off a couple times.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Like it, and I'm not even saying it was the worst movie I've ever seen. It wasn't. It was fun. No, I thought the movie was fun overall.
I mean, to be fair, it was fun to us because we kind of made fun at certain points. Yeah, we kind of joked about certain things at certain points. So it was like it was fun to us. Yeah. But if I went alone and saw that, that would not have gone well.
I don't know why you would have gone alone.
I don't know, dude. A-list. I'm gonna take advantage of it.
Anything's possible. Do you have any more thoughts on like general thoughts?
I have general thoughts. I do also have a big takeaway but not a takeaway, but a big nitpick.
Problem. Do you want? Is it spoiler or?
It's not really a spoiler.
Yeah, okay. Just try to say it without spoiling.
The movie felt like it was a lot of different videos that were just stuffed together.
Really?
Like there wasn't a good flow to me. There was not a good flow. It felt as though each scene was its own independent thing.
Yeah.
And it so happened that these characters were involved with each other, so they would piece it together in that sense, and they got this movie. You know?
Right. That's interesting. I guess I can see where you're coming from with that. I guess we'll get into a little bit more when it's spoiler time. Just kind of like when you really get into it. But another thing I was surprised about is I guess I didn't really watch any of the trailers going into this movie, but it was so like half of it was like a musical. Like I enjoyed how much music was in it. Like that's probably my biggest thing. Like Kelly Clarkson and Nick Jonas like being like main roles. Oh, especially Kelly Clarkson. Like
by the way, Kelly Clarkson, props to you. You did an amazing job in the vocals.
Oh, I agree. Like her as Moxie, even her voice acting was like really good. Like you could like. I don't know. I was really impressed with her, and I mean, she had like multiple songs like that I really enjoyed. Like that.
There were multiple songs, but sometimes it did feel as though the songs went on for
a little too long.
You know.
I don't know, I disagree. I feel like I disagree just because I think that's what I enjoyed the most about the movie was the music part. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did enjoy the music, especially vocals from Kelly Clarkson. You have Nick Jonas, Blake Shelton. You do have
Pitbull?
some
Oh my
really
gosh.
talented artists in there.
Yeah.
So definitely the sound, like the music was a really substantial part of the movie.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, it felt as though they were just taking up time.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I think they were trying to make it like I don't know, like I don't want to get into spoilers, but early on in the movie, we like get into like a musical like number, like a whole like kind of like
early on. I mean,
immediately.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, immediately.
So, and I was thinking like when that happened, I'm like, oh man, like this could be fun. Like if they keep doing these like musical things, and then you have these like, long breaks from like getting into the story and everything, which I mean makes sense. Like you need to start getting the wheels turning of the story and everything. But it almost like it was like backloaded. Like there was like more like songs in there in like the end of the movie in a way. But I mean, songs aside, I think the story was pretty, I'd say, cookie cutter. Like in my head there wasn't too many like big twists. Like we were mentioning before, some animated movies that are more like adult friendly that adults may enjoy. They had I think more a little like complex plots. This one was kind of like it was kiddish. It was like
this movie it no doubt it's definitely a kids movie. I mean we saw it. I didn't really care for it because it's a kid movie.
Yeah.
I mean the music, it's very colorful. It's an extremely colorful movie, and the color does play a certain aspect. When we get into spoilers, we'll talk about that. But color plays a huge part in it, and just the music, it carries the movie in the sense that for kids, when you carry a kid to theater, I mean, I think there was one kid in the theater, maybe two, and
wasn't very filled theater.
It captivates a kid,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it definitely keeps their attention for the amount of time.
Yeah, like you said with the color, I thought the animation was really good. We'll get into that maybe a little bit later, but I mean that's not spoilers at all. It's just the animation. They did a really, really good job.
Oh no, the animation was
the dolls
was really, especially with like that opening scene.
What was the opening?
It's not spoilers. In the factory, the opening scene.
Oh,
in the
okay.
factory.
Yes.
Yeah, you can clearly see a lot of detail. It was a good way to open the movie in terms of like introducing you how this movie's gonna look.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to hop into spoilers here pretty soon, but before we do that, I would say there's like one of my biggest gripes with it was just by the end they tied some things together, but it wasn't like everything. Like it just wasn't. You could tell they knew they were making the movie for kids, and they knew maybe kids would like the story and like everything, but they didn't. I thought they could have made things a little more interesting and tied things more together with like kind of like the real world.
I want to touch on one thing on that.
Yeah.
Yes, this was a kids movie, and I agree that they did not try to, especially the storyline. They didn't try to like make it
surprise the audience, maybe.
Yeah, They didn't try to like make it a shocking or twist and turns and stuff like that. But I do have to say, the topic or the underlining theme. Mm-hmm. It's a big deal.
It's a universal theme.
It's like when you think about it, just about what they talk, like the underlining theme.
Yes.
It's heavy. Like it's a big topic.
I mean, I feel this isn't spoilers to say, but kind of like the theme of the movie is.
I mean, I did watch a trailer, so if you do watch a trailer, you get what you understand a little bit what we're talking about.
Like, they're ugly dolls. Like, what do you think it's going to be about?
Exactly.
Like they're ugly for a reason.
Oh, and that also. When we talk about spoilers, I do want to talk about that because that kind of like peeved me off.
What?
No, just what happened in the second half of the movie.
Interesting. We'll stick around for that. Yeah, the animation was great. The music was great to me. Like I really enjoyed the music. Those are my two favorite parts of it. And I would say if you're listening and you have kids, it's not the worst movie in the world to go see. And it's a really like we said about the theme, it is a really like good like the heart of the movie is really good. Like I really like the message behind it. I think it's a really important message for kids to know and just people in general to know.
Yeah.
So it might not be the best, like was well crafted.
Yeah, it gets its message across.
For sure.
Well, for kids, it's directed for kids, and the underlying message is well portrayed to them.
Yeah, I agree. So I would suggest it if you have kids and they want to go out this weekend, like the school's getting out,
and not even that. I mean, just like taking all the kids in your family out. If you want to do your kids, cousins, you can get the block of kids. It's no, I think it would be cool to have a theater full of kids just watching that movie.
Okay, yeah, it would be fun. I mean, I'm sure Ugly Dolls, the producers would think it'd be fun too. What do you mean by that?
No, because it's such a kid movie, dude.
Yeah,
it's tough for an adult to go there with one kid and just and do all that. I would get like, I mean, if I had a kid, I would gather all his friends and probably take them to see it.
It's a lot of money. I'm the
A-list. Just get A-list.
True. Okay,
but
you want a little more?
Before we go into spoilers, let's talk a little bit about characters.
Characters?
Yeah.
Before spoilers? I feel like it's kind of like it's hard to talk about, really to get in depth.
All right, so you wanna move into spoilers?
I do.
Right now? All right,
guys, this is spoiler time. We are waving the red flag, blinking lights.
I'm waving. Can you guys see it?
Can you guys hear it?
Can you hear it?
Blinking. Spoilers. I'll try to put a timestamp maybe in the description of this video.
Yeah.
All right, we're in spoiler territory.
Okay, we're in spoiler territory.
Okay, this is my...
just leave if you don't want to hear spoilers.
But I'm sure a lot of you won't pay attention, want to see this movie at all. So just stick around with us and just enjoy this conversation.
Okay, wait. Before you start, I just want to say one thing.
What?
Gibberish cat.
Gibberish cat. Gibberish cat's the boy. Okay, this is character. Gibberish cat, dude. He came back. They leave that at the beginning. They're like, oh, the gibberish cat, and I'm like, okay, this little character, and then at the end, it's like, I'm like, oh, gibberish cat.
Oh, it's so cute. Such a cute little cat.
Okay. So this is what okay, spoilers. I'm sitting there watching the movie, and I'm like, oh, what's this Lou guy's problem? I didn't get it. So in the film, they find the ugly dolls have their ugly veil, and Moxie is like, oh, she's been dreaming about.
So Moxie is like the main character. The main character, yeah. She's a protagonist in this.
Exactly, and she's kind of the one that she's singing at the beginning. She we just mentioned that.
Very hopeful, very uplifting.
Yeah, today's the day.
Yeah, it was funny in the calendar. Every day. Every day. Today is the day. She wants to find her kid.
Right. So. Basically, and to start the movie, like Kevin mentioned when we were talking about non-spoilers, there's a factory scene where there's all these dolls and toys going through this assembly line. So
it starts off where you're introduced to this assembly line, and that's where the dolls get made. So, as you know, in manufacturing, there's always gonna be one mistake or two mistakes, whatever.
Yeah.
So every mistake in the dolls were rejected. They got thrown out.
Right.
And they end up in Uglyville.
Yeah, because they got there was always something a little wrong with them.
So they're rejected dolls, basically.
For example, there was always ducks going in a row, and then one's head was messed up, so it just gets pushed to the side and then gets sent to Uglyville.
He has a weird eye. He has a weird toe.
What?
Weird stuff,
Yeah. Messed up with them. And we learned later how Lou, who's Nick Jonas's character, is the main villain. And you basically learn that he's
such a jerk.
Yeah, normally Ox, the boy, because he's the one that blocks off the recycling bin. So all those toys that were supposed to get discarded were supposed to go to recycling. Mm-hmm. This guy Ox, he's a little bunny with one eye. Blake Shelton's character. And
he doesn't walk on his legs, he walks on his ears.
He does, but if he really wants to run, he runs. I love that. He's so cool.
Yeah.
He made this, he blocked off the recycling, so then they got shot into Uglyville, where all these ugly dolls basically live, and that's where we meet all of our characters and everything. So Moxie, she doesn't want to stay there. She wants to get to her an owner. She in her mind she thinks it's kind of it definitely has notes of Toy Story.
Well, it's not just that, these ugly dolls think they're beautiful.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So they're in Uglyville, and everything is great. They're perfect and they unique in their own ways, and they want to find their own toy, especially Moxie. She's the adamant one who extremely positive, extremely looking forward to finding her kid.
Exactly. And she thinks the kids are going to come to her. They're she's
right.
And it was very she wanted to be
the tea dude.
The tea?
The tea.
What tea? You're confusing me.
No. Okay, so there was this scene where she and what's the bat's name?
Lucky the Bat, I think.
Lucky the Bat. So
Lucky
she
Bat.
and Lucky the Bat were having a cup of tea,
Oh, the tea leaves.
The tea leaves. So she drank her tea, and there were just tea leaves at the bottom of the cup.
She's like, "Oh, read my tea leaves.
Read my tea leaves."
Blah, blah.
And she was like, "Leaves? I gotta leave and find my kid."
And I was like, "Oh yeah." So it like clicks in her head, like, "Oh, they're not gonna come for me." Like in my head, I kept thinking like a good analogy is like Andy, like from Toy Story, like an owner like that, like
right,
relationship.
Right.
She wants an Andy pretty much, and she knows Andy, like or whatever owner is not
going
going
ripoff of Toy Story.
Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah, but Andy's not going to come to her. She needs to leave and go find him or her or whatever, her owner. And so she gets this plan with a few of her buddies. One being like, I mean, it's like the whole kind of like main cast and crew, including like Pitbull's dog, which was my least favorite part of the movie.
Oh, Pitbull was fantastic.
What? Are you serious?
No.
I thought he's terrible. Oh. I'm like, why is Pitbull in this movie? Like, of course he's using them for like his random like musical numbers, but I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm pretty
sure he paid them to be on that movie. No way they paid him to be on that.
No, it's definitely the exact opposite. They definitely paid him like a lot of money to be on it. Just to be like, oh, come on, Pitbull, you can do it.
Dude, and there's certain, like, what's funny about Pitbull, not to veer off like what we were talking about before, but what's funny about Pitbull is that whenever he is about to sing, he would change his like outfit and he would get like a goatee.
Like look more like him. So I'm like, what is this movie?
Right?
Yeah. Okay, so we don't need to necessarily get like through the whole plot because it's really not that exciting.
Yeah.
But basically, so they go to this place where Moxie and her friends basically go into this. They go into these tubes that they found, which basically where all of them get shot out of when they get like discarded and they get shot into Uglyville. They went into the tube where people get shot out of, and they go in there, and they one way or another they end up in this perfection.
Universe of perfection.
Was that it? It was like, so basically they end up in this like perfection like bin.
Yeah. The actual name of it was like perfection.
Perfection. Yeah. That's what they called it.
Yeah.
And there's all these dolls that are like, they look like
humans. I mean, these dolls look like humans. Yeah.
Especially because it was an animated movie. It just looked like they were like human, like people.
Yeah. Because we were kind of confused. We were like, wait.
It's people. Like,
are they people? And then when you actually see the real humans, you can tell the difference.
Yeah. They're just like these like dolls. They kind of look like brats in a way. They're like kind of like, not like brats. Their faces, but kind of like they're like built with like big heads and kind of like small bodies,
Right.
But so anyway, they get there and we meet our villain Lou, who is Nick Jonas. And okay, this was my biggest thing with the movie. I was sitting there, and I'm like, oh wait, why does he have to sit there and be the person who's in charge of?
Yeah, so that's the thing, yeah.
Like, and we learn it at the end, but. These dolls, so they have to get like trained through like this like gauntlet and like pass it to go into this tunnel to get to where your owner is, basically, where like, so you have to like kind of get trained like you get made, then you get trained in this little like perfection area, and these are all only for the perfection dolls. The ugly dolls kind of like wound up there, and there's all the like the jokes and like, oh, what are they, blah blah, and they whatever, like Moxie gets her way into like doing the gauntlet and stuff, and Lou's just this huge like a-hole, and
basically totally unnecessary. But I mean, the movie explains why he is the way he is,
Yeah, so at the end, I was thinking the whole movie, I'm like, this is my biggest problem. Like, why
is he like this? Why is he such a dictator? How does he get to call the shots?
And
I
was wondering,
run everything.
And I was wondering why. I'm like, wait, these dolls, like, shouldn't their purpose? Like, why are there some dolls here that are like making up the rules and like being there for a while? Shouldn't they just like get through like go through the courses and then leave?
Leave, yeah.
Like, why isn't he gone? Like,
also, I want to talk, like, finish a thought, and I want to talk about the gauntlet for a little bit.
So then at the end, we learn he was the prototype of like the perfection doll, basically, and he was the first one. So it's his like duty.
Right. So he's like the standard that all dolls have to follow in.
And he's like forced to be there, and he's the one that has to bring them
through. So it's not like he can even win the gauntlet and go on to a child. No. He's stuck.
But also part of it was that he didn't have to make the system know what it was. It could be open.
Yeah.
At the end, it gets all open, and all the dolls can go in and out to their owners and stuff, and we have some good moments, and it's like very nice and happy. And we learn that his character was he made it a dictatorship. Like, he wanted full control, and he wanted to be able to only let the perfect dolls go through, when all along the ugly dolls could have gone through if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
What was confusing to me, before we get to what you're going to say, was his relationship with Ox. We learn at one point that him and Ox were good friends.
Yeah, they were very close. So
but it doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
he was faking it. Clearly, at the end, you learn that Lou is faking the relation, like the friendship. Because at the end they were like fighting, and he's like, "Oh, you're the one that wanted me to go away and stuff." Because because he's like, "No, you like," because Lou was upset that Ox was gonna be able to go through the tunnel.
Yeah.
Because you learned that Lou couldn't go through it himself.
Right. So he felt kind of like, oh wait, but I mean.
But it was like halfway through the movie, I'm just like, what is this plot? At the end, they kind of helped. They kind of like wrapped things up with like Lou and stuff. But I'm like, what? Like,
and that's why I said this movie it felt as though it was filmed in segments, you know. And like, I mean, all movies are filmed in segments. Yeah, but it was just acts. Yeah, it was just different videos that was probably brought together.
So what were you gonna say? What were you?
The gauntlet.
Okay, yeah.
The turnover of that, like, it's crazy. So they literally, what 8 of them?
What, at the end?
Yeah. How many dolls were in the house who competed in the gauntlet?
Oh, well, it was like the regular crew, which was like 6 of them, and then plus the what's her name? Molly, was that it? Mandy was awesome because Mandy was a perfection doll who was like nice to the ugly dolls.
Yes.
She was the only one that was like nice to them.
She was like the insider who bridged the gap between.
Exactly. And you could totally tell the first time you see her being nice to them. You're like, oh, she's definitely gonna be the one that like melds these worlds together. You could totally tell.
And props to the animation because her facial expressions gave it away.
Props or not? I mean, I don't know.
But yeah, so let's say 9 of them were in the house?
Sure.
9 of them were competing in the gauntlet. 1 made it out to go to.
Yeah, but no, at the end they all could have gotten out if they wanted to. What do you mean?
So
like, you mean just because Lou was the only one that got out?
Yeah.
Well, remember because Moxie makes a classic like Cars 1 decision where it's like, oh, I could finish the finish line, like I could go across the finish line, like win, or I could go back and like help, a person.
Right.
In this case, she could run across the finish line and like, and be like kind of she could theoretically be like finish the gauntlet and win.
Right.
Instead, she stops, and they literally added a like car stopping noise.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that though.
Oh,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about she was the only one who went to a kid.
Yeah. But that was
so is that their choice too?
What do you mean their choice?
So 9 of them competed in the gauntlet.
Okay, sure.
1 wins.
What? Oh, I see.
But 1 didn't win because the scoreboard checked off
all of them.
Like all of them.
Well, that was just kind of like, yeah, they all won. Like they all made the right decision.
Right. So they all won, but literally only one of them, which was Moxie, was the only one who went to a child.
Yeah, but they all stopped. Well, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
and I mean, yeah, like we said before, like this movie does not, I think, do a great job of like making it like a very like
You see, the problem is
sewn up like
the underlining theme of this movie made it like you expect certain stuff to happen. Like because the movie basically the underlying theme is like like people who have imperfections, they're not as good.
No one's perfect.
No one's perfect, and it's embracing those imperfections, like believing who you are.
And it's and like that has nothing to do with like
so
who
it's not,
you are. And
so it's basically outcasts from society being brought back in, being acknowledged, being incorporated because we're all one. That was the underlying theme in the movie, and it was. I mean, I don't know about you, but I felt like it was thrown on me.
What do you mean?
Like I felt as though like
they're pushing it too hard. Yeah, I mean, I feel that
even the dialogue, some of the dialogue, and even the name, Ugly Dolls.
Yeah.
So
that's the name of them though. Like what?
No, and the thing was, they thought they were like the best.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they were just kind of like living a good life.
They were living a good life. They
weren't cocky about it though. They're just like, life's good.
Right, and that was all because of Ox. Ox was the one who was like, no, everything is because
he made it. Yeah,
it's fine.
Oh, and you learn like it's like because of Moxie too. Because at the end, Lou like when they get kind of beaten down and thrown out of perfection and told they're basically like trash. Uglyville kind of like goes to crap, and they're just like it's like gets super dark and stuff.
Yeah.
And at the end, Lou's trying to like throw away, like kidnap Moxie and throw her down into recycling.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you're the only one that never gives up. Like you never give up, so I have to get rid of you.
Right.
So
yes.
So Uglyville can never like revive itself.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what were you saying exactly.
So like the underlying theme of the movie
was
it was pretty like it's tackling social issue. You know, it's accepting people for who they are, incorporating them into regular life.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was pushed on me. For a kids movie, that's the thing, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I think to that, like, it being pushed on you is a lot of just it. It is a kids movie, so they're really like they put it really in the forefront and really like they did like show it a lot.
One example, you remember that the music scene where they were dancing and all the mirrors were around them?
Yeah, that was cool.
With Mandy. What's her name?
Mandy and Moxie. Yeah.
Mandy and Moxie. That song, like, I wish if you can pull up the lyrics for that song, like it's
what
that song alone talked a lot about accepting and stuff like that. But what was crazy about that scene was that these ugly dolls came in, Mandy's taking care of them and stuff like that, trying to help them, and then puts makeup on them. Yeah. And then puts fake hair on them, and then puts fake clothes on them.
Yeah, but I think, okay, I'm gonna get something else to that. But I was thinking that when that was happening, I'm like, this is like funny. Like you're making them better by putting nice clothes on them.
You're making them better by disregarding their uniqueness in a sense.
Right.
Their I can't say the word.
What?
Abnormalities.
Okay.
Yeah, they're different.
Yeah, what's like special about them?
Yeah, they have. I mean, some of them are disfigured and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, they're very cute.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were very cute.
They were so cute.
Yeah, they were very cute. But they kind of like disregarded the fact that everyone should be accepted for who they are, and basically just throw makeup on them, put hair on them.
Yeah, but later it kind of gets thrown out the window. Like then also, they did it for a second, but then I think they did that to like show how that doesn't matter. That's what I got out of that anyway.
Right.
Because then it's like that didn't change anything. Like, that didn't affect anything. Them getting dressed. And then what I wanted to say with that, when they got all dressed up, who looked hilarious? What was that guy's name?
Oh, the
Babo?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
big one?
Yes.
With his little hair. Oh my gosh. It was the funniest thing. He got this little like haircut. He has like bangs. And I don't know what it was. Like, I'm like,
no, and he like there was even a point where he was like, "You like my bangs?"
It was
like my bangs and stuff like that.
And I'm like, this is amazing because I didn't care at all about that character. And then all of a sudden he gets this like this like little wig on. He's like the funniest looking guy. It was so funny. Okay, do you want to get into the little awards segments we got going on here?
So what are we gonna do right now? This is the first episode, so format wise. So what we just did, talk about the movie, go into a little bit of spoilers, and now we're going to go into what we think deserves awards, like best character, best actor, worst character, and stuff like that. So David, why don't you kick off?
Yeah, so we can first start with best character. I think I'm going to have to go with Moxie, even though it's a really generic choice. I think Moxie, not Kelly Clarkson, but Moxie. Is that what I want to say? No, I take it back. I'm lying. I am completely lying. That was false. Take it back. Rewind 15 seconds.
Not even 15, 10.
Okay. I'm going to go with Mandy being the best character.
Mandy?
Because I think she had the most, like, kind of dynamic character arc in the movie. So she's a perfect doll at the beginning.
Yes.
She meets these ugly dolls, and she's like, oh, wow. Like, and you learn how, like, she's been not wearing her glasses because Lou wouldn't like it, basically, because you can't be in Perfectionville. You have to be perfect. You have to like stand up to these like standards and stuff. And she didn't want to wear her contacts, or did she want to wear her glasses because she thought they wouldn't like it? So, and you see her in her glasses, and it's like, oh, why don't you wear them? It makes you like special and stuff. So I would pick Mandy as the best character because I think she was written where she actually had a little pull from both sides. She started off on like kind of the bad side, and then she gets kind of pulled over but there was a little struggle there, and like you tell like in her mind. I mean, she went over to the good side pretty quickly, but I mean, it was super obvious she was going to be that bridge between them. But I think just her being the character that did bring them all together, and kind of a little bit of the struggle that she had, and and she was
because she did face a conflict because. After that scene where she dressed up all these ugly dolls in the perfect outfit, the perfect look, the perfect outfit, she had a moment to herself and she was like, now that that's done, where do I stand? Right. Everyone else is getting their life figured out. Everyone is just figuring out where they stand. Everyone is, and she's just, who am I?
Yeah.
And she did have that build to her.
So I would say just because I think she had like a lot of the characters in the movie were pretty static, like they didn't change much. I think she had probably the most dynamic like story arc in the movie.
Right.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. What do you think? Or who
For
do you have
me,
for best character?
Like I agree with Mandy. I also agree with Moxie. Because I mean she is the main character in the movie, and and you follow her story, so you don't really have a choice.
Yeah, like at the end where she like does get to her owner, and it's like super sweet. Like,
yes.
She's been dreaming about it. She's been seeing. She's having this vision.
And there was a moment of hesitation too.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
that was good filmmaking where it's like she gets to her owner finally, and she kind of looks at Moxie, and first her face is kind of like blank and almost like a little confused. But finally, she like smiles, and you can tell like their teeth were kind of the same. Like
they all had 3 teeth.
Yeah, they had like kind of like 3 teeth because she was like a young girl, and it was like super cute. And then they hugged, and it was finally she was like living out her like fantasy that she kept like in the movie. You see her imagining. She's imagining her and her owner like and her owner like snuggling her and stuff, and finally she gets it at the end.
Right.
So I mean, she was fun to root for sure.
For me, other than the obvious choice of Mandy and Moxie, it would be Gibberish Cat.
Gibberish Cat? What a legend.
Dude, what a legend.
I mean, who knows what he even said? Like, we don't even know.
No,
and that's the brilliant. He's like Boba Fett. The mystery behind him. You just don't know. Like, Gibberish Cat, like, he's going to have his own spin-off movie. And it's all just going to be a bunch of gibberish cats just talking back and forth.
But I kind of like Ox.
Ox, yeah.
I kind of like Ox.
He had a good character too. I just don't think he was really in it enough to be like.
Because the fact that I've always, in movies, you always find this one person, does a greater good. He tries to do he or she tries to do what's best because they think it's best, And that was Ox's role, and I think he did a good job.
Yeah, for sure. You tell, he's like the really nice guy who like started Uglyville and everything, trying to protect all the ugly dolls, which is like really admirable. I really like that about him. Okay, so what would you say would the best actor be? Which in this movie, obviously it's animated, so it'd be the best voice actor, I guess.
Kelly
Clarkson? Yeah.
Yes.
I
hands down.
I completely agree. 110%. Like I think she did the best job. I think her singing was awesome. I think the way she portrayed
singing was it was great.
Not everyone could pull off a Moxie character. Like super like high tempo, high spirit, like super excited, happy.
It felt almost like Broadway, because
what?
No, because in the sense that like she's singing and then transitions into speaking and then starts singing again. And so smooth. And her voice, I don't know if they did anything digitally,
probably a little bit
digitally. To her voice, but great. It was. Yeah, Kelly did a really good job.
I would definitely agree. I was actually. That's funny you said that because for me it's not even like close. I think just because she obviously had the most lines, but I think she really did a really good job of like you said, like singing and then transitioning, like going straight back into talking, then right back into kind of like a swing, going right back in between the two.
Yes. It was a musical.
And not everyone could do that character, in my opinion. Like, not anyone could be that. Like,
I can imagine. All of them probably especially Pitbull, in the booth, just like having a good time.
Yeah, like she's like this, like innocent, like that kind of like, everything's good, everything's awesome, everything like that.
And her voice fit her character very well.
Exactly. Yeah. It was good casting.
It was good casting. Yeah.
So we're pretty excited on that one. How about worst character?
Worst character.
So I have one.
I have 3.
Okay, that's hilarious you said that because I was going to say, okay, let's see if we were saying the same thing. I was going to say, I'm going to make a little group of the 3 girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's these 3 little, that's funny. Yeah. That's so funny. I was going to do that. Yeah. So Lou, the main antagonist, has these 3 little like disciples that like always like do his like dirty work for him pretty much. They go like,
these 3 girls who literally do everything for him.
They're so annoying. Like they're literally
they are very annoying.
Like I'm just like, why these exist? In those scenes where they go to the kidnapping, I'm like, what is the purpose of this? Like this could have been done in a better way. It's like I don't care about these characters.
There's and even the stuff they say, it's just like throwaway sentences.
Exactly.
Like, we're getting really good at kidnapping.
Yeah. And like that one girl's like obsessed with Lou and like, oh, what about my hair? It's like now like it's like sideswiped and like I wonder if Lou likes this. It's just like these like dumb characters, and they're wasting like they're wasting like good chunks of like story on them, like screen time. I'm like, why are we like paying attention to these characters right now? That's funny
because even that scene when they went to Uglyville to kidnap the to kidnap Moxie and Mandy.
Yeah.
You know, even like that entire scene was.
And I feel like they almost could have been cooler because it was like they were supposed to be these kind of like, oh, like bad girls. They're working for the bad guy and stuff. And then they'd always had these like jokes and throwaway lines of just.
Oh, and there was one girl in particular who literally had she was the butt of the joke. Yeah. Everything she said was a joke.
Girl, right?
Yeah, everything she said was a joke, and yeah.
She was the one with the hair that was like, oh, my new hair. Like, I wonder if Lou will like it. Like, blah, blah, blah.
So the three of them, the movie can do better without.
That is so funny you said that. And I would say a second would be Lou. Until the end. I was almost going to say Lou, but then at the end you kind of get a little more background on why. Like, if we had never learned that he was the prototype, I would have been like, what the heck is this character? It makes no sense. But then at the end, we finally do get a little, like resolution to, like, or like background of
you get a little background,
why exactly he is the way he is and why he's doing what he's doing, which doesn't make him too sympathetic of a character, honestly.
No, because he's still
like, kind of like crazy. He's like, I just want all the dolls to be
exactly.
Perfect.
So regardless of what reasoning they gave him for whatever he does, what he does, it still didn't triumph. What he did.
He's not a great villain.
Yeah,
I liked his opening. I did like his opening, like singing act though, like Nick Jonas singing.
Dude, Nick Jonas did not do a good job.
Really?
I'm sorry, did not do a good job. His voice, his singing, I was disappointed.
It didn't really sound like him too much. Which
I mean, okay, that's fine if it didn't sound like him.
Yeah.
But I was kind of disappointed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I think they did an okay job. All right, so now this is one's so obvious to me, but worst actor. So worst voice actor in this one. Who do you have? Mine's super easy if you need to think about it. Mine is
no, I'm trying.
Mine is far and away easily Pitbull. Literally, okay, let me go on a rant for a second. Pitbull in this movie, Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide, whatever. So, like, you understand why he's in the movie, kind of as, like, a joke. And, oh, my gosh, though, like, it felt like when he was saying his lines that he was, like, he wasn't really paying attention.
It was ad-libs.
He, like, not even just ad-libs. He, like, wasn't paying attention to what, like, the script and, like, the connotation was actually, like, saying. He'd just, like, say something to just be like, oh, that's, like, the little ugly dog talking now. Like, he seemed like everyone else.
He was in the movie a lot.
Exactly.
He was in it.
Why is he in it so much? Freaking Pitbull. Like, he was not doing a good job at all. Like, sure, his music stuff is, like, kind of funny. But his actual, like, voice acting and, like, just, like, hearing him, I'm like, oh, my gosh, why is Pitbull in this? He's not doing a good job at all. Like, he would say stuff without, like, the right, like, connotation behind it. It felt like he wasn't saying, like, the right way. He just, like, kind of read it for what it was.
Yeah, for me, I don't think it necessarily makes sense to, like, even, like, say Pitbull was the worst actor. Like, we know it's obvious.
Do you have someone else?
Yeah, Wedgehead, Emma Roberts.
Wedgehead. Oh, yeah. Why? She's barely in it.
She was barely in it. I think she probably had, maybe 5 lines for the most? But
she was like
she was wasted.
Duck doll.
Yeah.
She was wasted?
Yeah.
Like she was drunk during the
No. Oh. Like, I mean, that would explain her lack of lines.
Have some background information, Kevin?
I spoke to her last night. She told me everything. No, her character, Wedgehead, that's all she said. Is like, I'm Wedgehead.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel
like it's different, like being wasted and like having like bad voice acting. I feel like she didn't.
No. Like it. I mean, and you can't blame her for the role she got. You can't blame her for the lines she got.
Well, that's kind of what you're doing because you're like worst actor because it's like it's her, not the character.
Okay, all right. Well, in that case,
Pitbull, bro. he was throwing some softballs and he was just swinging and missing. Hot flies.
No, the worst thing is when he transitioned into his music outfit or whatever that was.
Okay, so our final thing I've written down here for our categories is nitpicks, and I have a big one with him. All right, so let's move into the next one.
Oh, with him.
Yeah, specifically about Pitbull's character.
No, but let's go on. That's nitpicks, right?
Yeah, we'll do that last.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's get into how did it look, which basically for a movie, this one's a little different because it was animated, but it's a big factor how did it look. But for other movies, it'd be like, how it was shot, the cinematography of it, like the color, saturation, things like that, like the color balance. Sometimes movies are a little too dark and things like that. This movie looked great. I think the animation was beautiful. I think especially in the Ugly Dolls, where they were like had this kind of like fluffy fur to them. You could like see every little string of hair and stuff. Especially
a lot of work went into the animation.
What was really impressive was that one scene you mentioned earlier where they were getting the like makeovers.
Yes.
And like all that stuff like the Babbo, I think his name is. He was
gonna wax.
He's gonna wax.
Yeah, yeah.
It looked really cool the way they did that.
Because
Like,
they put on face masks and stuff like that, and it was very, very detailed.
It looked really cool. I thought.
Like I can like we saw it in the cinema, but imagine like watching that on like a 4K LED TV.
Yeah,
that would be insane.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
The color would be amazing.
Yeah, and it definitely popped. It had really good, like, nice colors. The animals, or not the animals, I keep wanting to call them animals, but the ugly dolls. They had like nice poppy colors. Moxie was nice pink, and I really just enjoyed the way it looked, especially like each of the ugly dolls had this like kind of unique look to them, and it was like you could tell why that one was ugly. You know, it's like, oh, okay, like that's what's wrong with that one. Like, like Ox had the no eye. Babbo,
Moxie, she had weird teeth.
She had weird teeth, and she had this weird thing on like her head. She mentioned a few times.
Right. The bat had no wings.
they're like small.
They were so small.
And Pitbull had like one eye and stuff. But anyway, yeah.
But
so I would
really
say it looked like looks wise, the movie like is really, really fun and beautiful to look at. Like props to the animation.
I agree.
That's it. Kevin agrees. All right, moving on.
I agree.
Moving right along. So next one is first how did it look, and next is how did it sound. I'd say also really good.
It sounded very good. I mean, they kind of I mean, it would have been a bad thing. I mean, if it sounded off, you know,
especially because it's like a musical.
It's a musical, exactly. You expect to have that sound. You know, you want those vocals. So it sounded great.
For me coming in, I didn't even realize it was like that music forward. Like I didn't realize it was going to be like that much music in it, and I was not expecting the even like I was
because there were like music like. Segments.
Oh yeah, no, like when they were like it was like a musical. Like when they did like
and not just
song,
like not just a couple seconds, a few minutes of like straight music.
Yeah, exactly. It was a musical at some points. Where,
and
like,
they
full scenes.
I mean,
music.
give credit when credit. Give credit when credit is due. They used the music to also tell the story too. You know, it wasn't just like a music break. You know, it was continuing the story.
Oh yeah, they used it in like a way where I think
it was a musical.
Story. Exactly. And that is that. All right, moving on. So the next part is biggest problems and biggest praises of the movie, which is kind of like what we get into the spoilers, or I mean, just the review of the movie in general. But I mean, I guess you could just be a little more specific without making it like a nitpick.
Biggest problem, I thought they could have maybe portrayed the message a little bit better. Okay. It felt a little jumbled to me.
And the message being like, you know, be yourself.
You're
perfect the way you are.
Exactly.
You don't need to be this like perfect like image. It was very about like image.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a sense that these ugly dolls look up to these perfect dolls and be like, oh, I want to look like them. I want to be like them. But like, no, you're perfect in your own way.
Exactly. And they definitely had a lot of like kind of like metaphors towards like kind of like they showed people like they had them in like, the class the one time, and it's like, you know, in school there's a lot of that. Like, you get a lot of pressure to like look a certain way, act a certain way, and they even like played with that, like the little like classroom scene where like they're all sitting there and stuff, and like, you know, in Perfectville or whatever, how do you know what it was? Perfectville.
So anyone who thinks that they're not good enough, or you think that like
just go watch Ugly Dolls.
Just go watch Ugly Dolls. You know, that's the thing. Let me. Okay, listen. No, don't laugh. Like, cause this is a serious topic. You know, there's people out there who feel as though like they're not good enough, or like, and that's the thing with social media now.
Yeah, right.
It's like you scroll through social media, you follow these like these models, these celebrities, and you expect that, oh, that's what I have to look like. That's what I want to be. That's what I want to be. You know.
Yeah.
But dude, do your own thing.
Right.
Be you, you know, embrace who you are.
I
and
agree.
the thing is, the people in your life right now who enjoy you for who you are, hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that was like, so yeah, go see Ugly Dolls. It'll remind you of that, like Kevin said. Like they do.
It's a good kid. It's a good thing for kids to see. It's definitely a good kids movie.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're saying, it's kind of like over the top with how much they push in your face. But I feel like for kids, they almost need that sometimes. So it's like it's really like okay, it's like obvious. This is what it's about.
And the thing with kids being on like latched onto electronics from like 3-4 years old, you know, it's good for them to see something like this.
Okay, so I would say my biggest problem was just a little like
we kind of like verged in that segment. We kind of verged on the good part of the movie. Yeah. So biggest problem was that I didn't think they tackled the underlining theme as well as they should. as well as they should.
What do you mean by that then?
Well,
because we just basically said like good job of like showing up. Like
no, like the concept was good, you know.
Yes.
But the way it was
execution?
the execution was a bit off for me.
In what way?
Yeah. Well, the dialogue was, and I mean, you can like it's tough for me to nitpick it because it's a kids movie, you know. But when you think about what they're talking about and what's happening, you know, the information that's relayed from each character to each character, I expected a little more.
Yeah. You just wanted to be a little more smooth, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it felt so choppy to me.
It was like very like, oh, like it wasn't smooth in the way they added it, where it was very like, it was like obvious they were talking about the topic. I was like, oh, you know, like you're good, like it's okay, and like obviously, like, oh man, you're ugly, like ugly.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Like they said, like they made like super just like blatant, like oh, like ugly's being ugly's bad, and ugly's this.
There was one character who had an ugly sign around his neck.
Yeah,
for the movie.
Yeah, because Lou like didn't like him at first. Yeah, so it's like, and that doesn't matter. And like you're not ugly. Like no one's ugly. That's.
I mean, it was just very blatant storytelling.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it was.
Yeah. I'd agree. My biggest problem, which was just like a logic problem, which I probably shouldn't even be like getting at because it's such a like little kids movie that we said it wasn't even, I don't know, that well thought out, but it wasn't. So I'm like,
well, don't say it's not well thought out.
I mean, okay, it was, but this part though, I'm like, how's this? So I'm like, okay, so these dolls, they go into the little Perfectville and then they get trained and stuff, and then they get shipped off. But it's like, this is what I was talking about kind of earlier, where like some other movies, they have good kind of like real world to like toy world, like especially like Toy Story, like transitions and like where it kind of like makes sense in your head.
Yeah.
But so there's this like tunnel that you go through, and you just like go to your owner,
right?
And it's like there's no like transition, so like you're training and stuff, and then the doll goes through the tunnel, and then you just assume they get to their owner. And so with Moxie, I was hoping they'd like explain a little bit, like okay, you go through the tunnel, and then it's like, oh, she's just there as a present for the little girl, and I'm like, okay,
how?
Yeah, you're right.
How?
It's like, because we had the real world like showing us like the assembly belt at the beginning, and like how that works in like the factory.
Right.
It's like, okay, that's how this works. We're like assembly belt. It's all making sense, logical, real world, toy world, crossover. You get, you know, if you're ugly, you get messed up, you get put to the side, or you're supposed to go into the recycling, but then you know, Ox broke it off, and it's like, it makes sense. And then you go out of like the pipe, and it's like, okay, that makes sense. And then you go back into the pipe, you know, toy world, real world kind of coming together.
Right.
But then there's like this magical tunnel, this magical bright light tunnel that you can like walk through, and all of a sudden you're in Narnia.
Yeah, yeah. You know? No, because it was literally, you know, Ugly Doll walked through and ended up in the kid's arms.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I just want, it is a nitpick, even though this isn't nitpicks yet.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like, I wanted a little, this is where I was saying it's like a kids movie. Like I wanted a little more of that like connection, like the real world and toy world connection, especially like because we see it a lot in like Toy Story. Toy Story they're amazing movies, so it's hard to like compare them. But this was a very comparable movie to Toy Story because they literally were like toys. Like she had to do the whole like fake thing. Like where you're moving around and stuff, but then also you have to like act like you play dead or whatever you have to do.
Like for me, from what you just said, I didn't really care about them too much because I don't expect that level of detail from a movie like this.
But yeah, that's my biggest problem with it, just because and it's not even like really a problem. It's just kind of like something I just wanted more. I wanted some more explanation. Yeah, like it was just like, come on, like you go all this way to show us like kind of like the back and forth between the two worlds, and then it's like there's this magical like shining bright light loop, and you go through it, and then all of a sudden you're just there. It's like, come on, give me a little more.
Yeah, are they going to talk about religion now?
They're just dead.
Just die.
Lou's like, yes, walk through it.
Okay. Oh, you remember when Moxie ended up with the kid, and we were like, yeah.
Dude, it was awesome when she ended up with the kid. It was awesome when the kid, like, that's like a great scene. She's like looking at her.
Because the thing is, these ugly dolls are so cute.
Oh yeah,
super cute.
Especially like we said, like how they look. They were
okay,
so
like
cute.
even Pitbull. Like we talked crap about Pitbull, but he looks so cute.
Yeah, he was like a little dog.
Yeah,
like a little ugly dog.
Yeah,
so it was cute. Okay, biggest praise. We pretty much have gone over like kind of like the theme of it.
Biggest praise, hands down vocals.
Like the music. Yeah. I would agree. Because like I was having the most fun watching it when the vocals were happening. I think it was the best part of the movie. I think they like just the storytelling in that. I think it was like very creative compared to like the other times like in the movie. And yeah, I would definitely say the biggest praise is music for me.
Props to Kelly again. I mean, she did a really good job.
See, like an opposite of that would be, it would have been more fun when those three girls, like the little like Lou, like evil girls, they had went and done their like little trips. Imagine if they were like doing a little like sneaky like Pink Panther kind of like musical kind of thing. I feel like that'd be like a little bit more fun if instead of just like no music, there's kind of like tiptoeing around. And it's like these dumb jokes, and I would definitely say there was some jokes where it was just like, this is such a bad, like it was such a bad joke. I'm like, okay.
I mean, some jokes were a stretch. I mean,
it was just like
and you can't get away from that. You cannot get away from that.
All right, so finally, nitpicks is our last little category here.
How about you start?
I was gonna say, let me start. I have one big one.
Yeah,
it's such a little. Okay, so nitpicks, it's different because it's supposed to be like something really like tiny in the movie that's like you just like really irked me. So Pitbull, right? We've talked about him. He was a little dog. He had one eye in the middle, right? One eye like in the middle of his forehead. Okay. Yep. Stop. So we mentioned earlier he would change. He would like be this talking dog with nothing on his face, and then he would change to when he would start singing into like kind of like Pitbull. He put sunglasses on. He get the little goatee. When he put the sunglasses on, it was two a normal pair of sunglasses with two lenses, and it would like. So then, like, just the bridge in the middle, like where your nose is, like where like the piece where glasses rest on your nose, that's where his eye is. And when in the animation, it would just go over his face, and then it would act like he didn't have one eye.
Like he would pull it down.
Yeah, and then you'd see the one eye, and it's like, this makes no sense. Come on, like. If this was Monsters University and Mike Wazowski, I guarantee you they would have had like a one eye sunglass. Like, why didn't they play with that? Yeah, it seems so silly to me. That was one of those things where it's like, come on, like this.
Pitbull probably designed those sunglasses and wanted it to be in the movie.
Pitbull, man, ruining ugly dolls. But I was just like, it just seemed like it was such like a weird. It was jarring to me. I'm like, why do you have a character that has one eye just to put a normal pair of sunglasses on? I'm like, why not have fun with that? Why not put a one lens sunglass on? I think that would have been more fun. But that was my little nitpick for the movie.
Yeah, my nitpick is when Moxie and the whole crew found out that basically they were rejects.
Yeah.
The entire of Uglyville shut down. Like, I don't.
Oh yes.
I don't fully get that.
Well, I think, I guess my argument, the counter to that, I think they would say, is that it kind of like it lost them all hope. Because at the beginning of the movie, they're like, today's the day. Like, it could be the day people come for them. Because I think they were always assuming that they were all going to get owners.
Yeah.
And because of that experience, all of them lost hope. But it was such a drastic, like, all sense, like Gotham City.
Yeah. And like, okay, it's one thing for like the people of the town to like lose faith or go down in their positivity, but the entire town lost color.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll add to that nitpick and be like, oh, like it's all dark now and dreary, and then also they're lacking food and stuff. Like all of a sudden they're low on portions and stuff. It's like portion control.
It's like they got hit by a disease or like a natural disaster or something.
It was like Avengers Infinity Wars spoilers. It's like when they all got snapped and all this crappy world
like
they're in.
50% of them remain. Yeah, and they have to ration everything.
How are we gonna recover? We've lost all hope. Hence, all of our food is missing. Yeah.
the one scene with the guy begging for the soup.
Yeah, no. You know what's funny? I liked that little character.
Oh my god.
He was like British, the little British guy. Yeah, I'm like. Yeah. Why wasn't he Pitbull in this movie? Like that, or even like the bat, like the Lucky Bat. I'm like, I like that guy's character. I just
like a lot of soup.
Yeah, he's like, I just like soup. I'm greedy for soup. It was just so him and the gibberish cat.
Okay,
honestly, highlights. We honestly should
nitpick. Gibberish cat was
not in it enough.
Yeah, twice. He was in it twice.
But I mean, honestly, what a great little sprinkle they put in there. Like, boom.
Whoever did the voice for that gibberish cat,
I want that
gibberish cat, or like even if they digitally altered it or whatever.
Amazing, great work.
I want to shake that hand. I mean,
yeah,
gibberish cat.
I what a character!
Like what sound did it make? Like try to recreate it.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember.
It was so cute too. Yeah, it was
like a rolling of the tongue, or was it? Yeah,
but it was so cute.
Yeah, it was so cute. It's this little like chubby cat, little like tube of a cat, and also it's like it's gibberish cat. Oh yeah, they play with that idea where it's like they'd use like literal names like Uglyville and like Wedgehead and stuff. Oh, like we like literal names.
We like yes.
And it's like and that's where the joke goes like, oh yeah, like gibberish cat. He's like, what a goat, gibberish cat. What an amazing character. All right, that's a good nitpick. Go gibberish cat. Wasn't it enough? Cat. You got gypped. All right, so finally, we're gonna end these podcasts. We're gonna give it a final grade. Like, playing with a little like the ABCD thing, A-lister,
Yeah.
ABC. And then it's
a play on words. If you didn't.
Yeah, I mean. We're trying here. We're doing our best. Okay, so you can. The scale is going to be like you can do like A+, A minus, not just
You want to do So
you can do plus and minuses.
Okay.
Because I think there's a big difference between a.
So what's the lowest? F.
F minus, yeah.
F minus.
I mean, yeah, that's how it works.
Wow.
It'd be from A+ to F minus.
Big scale.
Okay, I'm gonna start with mine, if you don't mind.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so the grade I'm gonna give Ugly Dolls is a C+. C+. So I mean, we'll see how throughout this series of podcasts, movie reviews, how our like scales are probably like differentiated because maybe we have like some have like higher expectations or kind of like higher. I don't know what the word is, but like you need to be like more impressed, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it a C+ because it would be a C without the music. Because the movie was like, it was fine. That's what I would say about the movie. It was like fine.
The performance was good.
Yeah, but the music was so much fun. It was like, oh, I love this. Like that beginning, like number, like I want to listen to that song, that Kelly Clarkson song, like the Today's the Day. I love that song. It was so much fun. Like it just made you feel happy. But the story is just like, it's slow sometimes. It's definitely just, it's not like consistent and like the like speed of it. What's the word?
Timing.
Whatever it is.
The pacing.
The pace. Yes. Thank you. Kevin.
Yes.
Thank you. The pacing. The pacing of the movie, I think it was like a little off, especially with the music, where it's like, oh, we're doing this fun music scene, like musical.
And then 40 Thanos.
Minutes, and then 40 minutes of just like dialogue and blah 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 blah. And it's like, okay, it's a kid movie. It gives us a little more fun.
And that's why I said the movie felt as though it was just pieced together. It wasn't one coherent thing.
Yeah.
You know?
So what would you give it out of?
I would give it a C.
C. Okay.
Yeah, I would give it a C. Yeah, I was gonna give it like a D+, but
go for it, dude. I mean,
no. I can't. No, I mean the vocals, like Blake and Kelly.
Yeah, Blake Shelton was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say just like the movie overall. Like,
yeah, I give it a C.
Yeah, so it's a fine movie. Definitely a kids movie. If you have kids, take it out to it. Like, nothing bad about it. Like, definitely nothing scary.
No, if you have kids, they're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna have to get this on DVD, and they're gonna watch it like 100 times.
Yeah, right. It's like fun musical. Kids love musicals. That's the thing with that. Almost wish there was a little more music in it, but oh well. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way to watch your kids when you're not watching them.
What?
You don't get that?
Oh yeah.
It's like an iPad.
Hand it to him, be like,
it's like watching a kid with an iPad. You know, it's just instead of you paying attention to your kid, you just give it an iPad.
Moxie will.
And it's like,
yeah, there you go.
They're taking care of themselves.
That's how you do it, Kev. That's it.
No
Parenting
way, dude.
101.
No, they're not. My kids are not gonna know what a screen is.
I can know what a screen is.
Yeah, dude. They have a child. We're gonna move.
They're gonna show up to school the first day, and it's gonna be all like electronic. There's gonna be like electronic.
Yeah, and
books
they're gonna have.
What is happening?
They're gonna have on wood shoes.
Wood shoes. Where are you getting these kids from?
Dude, they're gonna grow up on the land. What are you talking about? They're gonna grow up on the land. Yeah, they gotta know what it is to be living off the earth. You know,
Kevin's kids. I'm sure I'm dead by now, but if you're listening to this, I'm very sorry for your wooden shoes and your life in general.
Yeah, actually, they're gonna write on stone and everything. Yeah.
Okay, well. Parenting 101 with Kevin. That's how we're doing these podcasts from now on. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. This has been the first ever episode of the A-Lister Movie Reviews podcast. Kevin, how you doing? Did it go well?
We got through our first episode.
I know.
of A-Lister.
It's amazing. We actually did it.
We
did something productive. High five.
High five.
Bang.
Yeah.
We did it.
And we didn't even ramble too much.
Yeah. I mean, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Enough.
Just a little bit.
Just the perfect amount.
But, I mean, to be fair, when we do see more intense movies, we're going to have a lot to say. Yeah. I thought we had a lot to say about this.
We do. We're going over an hour right now.
Okay, nice.
Ugly Dolls.
So if you're still listening to us, oh my God, you're the best.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up for you guys.
Yeah, no, like, good job.
Make sure to give us a follow, thumbs up
You're
wherever
amazing.
you can find us. Spotify, iTunes, probably YouTube. I don't know. We haven't really
Listen
figured
to
out.
us wherever you
Desire.
desire.
Yes, Kevin, that's
It's
the
literally
word.
no, because like it's literally a desire, you know. No one is gonna like just come
Shove
up.
it down your throat.
Yeah. We're not sure. Like
No,
if you want to listen,
come
to
hang
this,
out with us.
just
That's what this movie. That's what this podcast is
just,
about.
Just come chill.
Just come
Just
talk
come
movies
chill
with
with
us.
us.
We're just
Yeah.
chilling.
I mean,
And next week we're gonna be chilling with Pokemon, or what is it called? Detective Pikachu Pokemon.
Detective Pikachu.
That is next week
with our boy Ryan Reynolds.
I'm not sure. I'm actually excited for it. Who
Yeah,
isn't? I think
yeah.
it's Jasmine who's like doesn't
Yeah.
really like, or was it you that was telling me that they didn't really like? You don't.
I don't
like it.
see
Yeah,
Ryan
yeah.
Reynolds as
It was
Pikachu.
you.
It's awkward to me, dude.
Well, find out next week.
Find
Find out Kevin's thoughts next week about Ryan Reynolds as the Pikachu. I'm excited for that movie.
Yeah. I am. I just
definitely
want to
wanna
see Jigglypuff.
Okay. We definitely want to start off the series with kind of like a softball of a movie. Kind of like,
Yeah.
nothing too serious. Like we didn't want to do like Endgame because I think that would have just been too much.
No,
for the
it'd been
first
too
one.
much.
We want to like really
yeah.
just get our feet wet with Ugly Dolls, something
Yes.
something fun. No one's really going to probably care about Ugly Dolls. I mean, if you do.
But we saw it, we cared about it, and we definitely think you should go see it. And thank you very much for
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Please join us next week. We'll be reviewing, like we just said, Detective Pikachu. I think it's like that's the full name of it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu.
Yeah. And until next time.
Detective Pikachu.
Oh yeah, and not before the final. Follow us, like us, share us, review us, all thumbs up on.
Yeah. Do
whatever.
you wanna do a shameless plug on Insta? On your Insta?
Oh yeah, just like where you can catch us. On Instagram, I think my username is it's gonna be David J Thompson, THOMPSON. Twitter is David Thompson with 2 A's, so it's like David Thompson.
David Thompson.
I can go find you, Kevin.
Right. On Instagram, it's at Kevin B645.
Oh my gosh, Kevin!
I don't know. Dude, you've seen my Instagram. I don't really
You don't know if they've seen it.
I don't.
It is Kevin.
Oh.
I can confirm. It is Kevin B645. That's where you can find Kevin Budasang.
Thank you, Instagram, for generic names.
Yes. Is that all you want to plug or anything else?
No, just thank you for listening. You're amazing.
Yeah. If you guys are still listening, I mean, if you listened at all, we really thank you. And
whatever time you're listening, like you're listening right now, just have a great rest of your day. Have a great night. Have a great morning.
Yeah, wherever
just
you
kill
are.
the game. Whatever you're doing.
Driving to work right now, you have a great day at work. Great day at work.
Listen, anything you do, put your best foot forward and just enjoy,
Yeah.
It's always a good time unless you make it a good time.
Just come hang out with us. Next week we'll be here. All right. And until
All
next
right.
time.
Until next time.
Yeah. Dang it, Kevin. I threw you up the ball and you were looking to swing at it, but you're like, oh, you stuff. All right. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say until next time.
I do not indulge in sports.
I'm going to say until next time. And you say, see you at the movies. Ready? Ready. All right. Ready, people? 3, 2, 1. And until next time.
See you at the movies.